Just had my power morning breakfast. Now I'm gonna have my power vitamins, go for a power walk, and then I'm gonna explain to you why going plant-based is probably the best thing you can ever do. If you're just like me who wants to make a shit ton of money, have impact on a lot of people while training very hard at the same time, eating nutritious food, fueling up your body with as little time as possible, then continue watching because that's exactly what I'm doing. About a month ago, I switched to a completely plant-based diet, from eating steak, eggs, and chicken every single day to eating none of that and no animal foods. It was quite hard, if I'm being honest with you, but the benefits and the advantages of going plant-based is just out of this world. So what I want to do is just kind of go over a few benefits, also go over the cons of going plant-based, like what are the issues you might face, what are the difficulties which I'm going on a daily basis, and just kind of walk you through what it's like to go plant-based, and maybe you can consider it yourself. I would say there's 4 main reasons why I went plant-based. Number 1, which is probably the main one, is cholesterol. So I inherited cholesterol from my father's side. They all have high cholesterol, just like myself. And things that increase your cholesterol are red meats, a lot of dairy products. Some people say they don't increase your cholesterol, but they do. I mean, eggs is a contradictory one. But there's a lot of reasons why going plant-based helps lower your cholesterol. That's because you're eating legumes, nuts, grains, vegetables on a daily basis, fruit as well. And all of those things do not contribute to your cholesterol. Hence why I want to go plant-based. Number 2, injuries. So if you don't know who I am or you haven't watched the previous video, I am known or prone to injuries. I have a knee injury, I have a shoulder injury, I have a back injury, and going plant-based is probably one of the biggest reasons as well, is to help me cure these injuries, right? I don't want to just take medicines all the time, and I truly believe going plant-based is what's going to help not cure these injuries, but definitely help me recover better. You know, some people say, oh, you need meat and you need dairy products and you need the calcium for your bones. A lot of it's bullshit. A lot of these, I guess, health institutes, whatever you want to call them, have said a whole lot of bollocks online to things that can help you when they just don't help you. So going plant-based is a big reason as to helping me recover from these injuries. The third reason is energy. So if you don't know what kind of business I'm in online sales, and I'm taking 7, 6, 8 meetings a day. You need to have energy for that, right? You can't be sluggish, you can't be tired, you can't sound like you're half dying. You need to have energy. And when you eat these heavy, high-fat meals, I don't know, dairy products and all these types of things, they just kill your energy. I noticed that when I was eating steak, cheese and eggs and those types of things, I just felt full all the time. And I hated feeling that type of fullness. Yes, they say protein is satiating, which I don't disagree with, but it's satiating up until the point where you feel a bit too satiated and a bit too full. When you eat these grains and these vegetables and nuts and beans and all these things, you feel full, but it's a nice type of full. It's like a light full, if that makes sense. And number 4 is just live a long life. If you look at the people that have lived the longest on this earth, have a look at what they eat: beans, legumes, nuts, grains, vegetables, fruit, things like that. Show me one person that's lived to 100 and they ate steak and eggs for the rest of their life. You just won't find it. So those were the main reasons why I went plant-based. Now, all the other benefits that I kind of found out when I went plant-based were actually pretty crazy. Number 1, the fiber. If I go back to when I was eating steak, eggs, and chicken on a daily basis, I don't think I was eating probably 10 grams of fiber a day. Now, I easily eat 40, 50 grams of fiber a day. Now, I will go over why too much fiber is bad for you, but more fiber helps with just so many things. Number 1, fiber is very, very filling. So if you want to lose weight, eat more fibrous foods and you're going to feel fuller for longer, and you're going to eat less and you're going to lose weight. Number 2, having more fiber just helps with, it's not appropriate for whatever YouTube's guidelines are, but you just poo more. Like, simply put. And the more you poo, the more better you're gonna feel. Your gut's working, right? Your bowels are going. As compared to steak and eggs and all of those types of things, you get constipated from that. Number 3, improved skin. So I have something called rosacea. Rosacea is just like where your cheeks flare up from just environmental factors. I noticed that when I went plant-based, about 2-3 weeks into it, I felt a big difference on my face. Even people around me were saying, hey, your skin looks so good, like it's glowing, it looks healthy. Also, I was taking blood blood pressure medication. I completely stopped with that. I hate taking medication for cholesterol, blood pressure, all these types of things where you can just do it from living a healthy lifestyle. Number 4, if you want to lose weight, like I said, go to a vegan diet because the foods are more fibrous. The more fiber there is, the more fuller you're going to feel and the less you're going to eat. Now, I'll tell you the cons of going plant-based, which I experienced, which are not good. Don't switch to a plant-based diet immediately. If you go from eating steak, eggs, chicken to completely eating plants, beans, legumes, grains, nuts, and all these types of things, just cold turkey, your stomach is gonna suffer because you're going from little fiber to high fiber almost instantly. Your stomach doesn't like that, and I'll tell you a very good reason why. Within the first week of going plant-based, I hated it. That's because I changed cold turkey. I went completely from eating steak the previous day to just eating plants and beans and legumes. And when you eat those beans and those legumes, your fiber instantly goes up. Your stomach doesn't like that. You feel heavily constipated. Your stomach is working in a way it's never worked before. And then it's no bueno. It's not good. So what I recommend, don't change cold turkey. Slowly go into it. Maybe start by adding a few vegetables into your diet, and then maybe 1 week you go vegetarian, and then you slowly start cutting out the dairy products, and then maybe in the 3rd or 4th or maybe 6th week only go vegan. But don't change cold turkey because I got a really bad stomach pain, and if I had to explain to you the pain, it's not good. Number 2, you do lack vitamins and certain minerals when you go vegan. So the most highly suggested supplement or vitamin that you supplement is vitamin B12. So vitamin B12 only comes from animal products, and obviously in a vegan diet you're not eating animal products. So definitely, if you want to, I can show you. So I'm just taking this vitamin B12 1,000 micrograms, if I'm saying that right, 1,000 microgram vitamin B12 tablets. Just take 1 a day, and that's pretty much it. You get everything else in a vegan diet. Some people say, oh, you don't get iron, you don't get calcium. I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not a doctor, but you definitely get those. Number 3, and I will say very honestly, it is hard to get your protein intake in. When you go vegan, you need to know exactly what foods have protein and what foods don't have protein. Because if you're just going to eat vegetables and beans the whole day, you're missing out on so many other things. There's so many other things that you can have on a vegan diet that I'm only noticing now that have protein. For example, who the hell knew broccoli, tomatoes, spinach have protein in? I didn't know that. So once you start understanding what foods are protein and what foods don't, you can easily start incorporating those into your diet, and it's going to be so much easier for you to get your protein in. And lastly, the biggest con is cooking. Cooking takes a shit ton more time now. Before, I could just hit a 300-gram rump steak in the air fryer with 2 slices of cheese and hit a few eggs on the pan. Now I can't do that anymore. Now you got to cook vegetables, and you got to cook beans, and you got to rinse them, and you got to wash them, and then it just takes a shit ton of more time. And if you're like me, you're in sales, or you own your own business, or you're an entrepreneur, whatever the case may be, you don't have time to be cooking it up in the kitchen all day, being master chef. Like, that's what we're here for. We're here to make money, train hard, and eat good food. But unfortunately, cooking does take some time. So what I'm only starting to do as of recently, like when I say recently, I mean the last week, is start prepping your meals for the week. When I say prepping your meals, I don't mean actual like meal prep, but cook things in advance. For example, for the week, cook all your beans, cook all your pasta, cook all your quinoa, cook all your rice, cook all your vegetables. Then when it's time to make it, you can just hit them in a pan, heat it up, add some sauces, and boom, you're done. You can't start from scratch every single day. Like, if you want to make rice every single day, that's going to take a shit ton of time. If you want to make vegetables every single day, it's going to take a shit ton of time. So what I recommend, cook everything in advance. Then when it's time to eat, plop in a pan or a pot or whatever, or in the microwave, and you just warm it up.